election, although it's a midterm and we often don't show up in midterm elections because there's no presidential candidate on the ballot, we have to show up in numbers. It's going to be so important because this election is going to determine our future and the future of our children and the generations to follow. There are going to be so many amendments on this ballot, so many things that are going to make a huge difference in our life, and we have to utilize our voices, our rights to vote. It is so important. It's imperative that we show up and that we tell our friends, our cousins, our neighbors, our coworkers to be at the polls or vote early on November 6th because it's just imperative that we be there. If you are wanting to vote for someone that is going to bring funding to our public schools, which we need. I heard one of the gubernatorial candidates prior to the primary talk about how the lottery is supposed to be issuing funds out to public school systems, but that money seems to get lost somewhere in transaction. We need to have someone in legislation in our governor's house mansion, making sure that those funds get to our public school system. Then you want to make a vote for Jaime. If you want to have someone in office that is going to decriminalize the use and the sale of marijuana, especially for medicinal purposes, then you want to have a vote for Jaime. If you want to ensure that our criminal justice system is reformed and that people are not sitting in jail because they don't have the money they need to bail out or have access to a speedy trial, then you want to vote for Jaime. There are just so many things that are going to be on this ballot and so many things that I stand for and support that I feel that is going to transition us into a better America, into a better Florida. I'm not even focusing on federal government right now because I feel like right now everything that is going to impact us is right here in our state. It's in our county. Local municipalities, they do a lot of work here. They make a lot of changes, a lot of laws, a lot of policies that impact us that we often don't even pay attention to. Sometimes we're so out of the loop and we're looking at, our president on TV or what's going on in the congressional offices, but really it's your legislation, really it's your local municipality, really it's your commissioners that are really impacting your life on the ground, and those are the races that we need to be paying attention to and that we need to be sure that we're electing people that magnify our voice. Oftentimes there are people that go to Tallahassee that sit at our commissioners' tables that are on these boards and they don't represent us. So my job is to go to Tallahassee and represent you to the best of my ability, to hear your voices, to actually be present, to say this is what my district is wanting, this is what my district needs, this is what they desire, and actually be your voice and be serious about it. I want to run with integrity, and I plan to show integrity once I'm elected to legislation, and I want to be your voice. I want to do everything that I can to ensure that you are not on the sidelines, that you're not idle, that what you need and what you desire to make your life better for yourself, for your children, for your families is what I do when I get to Tallahassee. And the way that you can support me is by doing what you're doing now, being present, being here at these events, telling your friends and your loved ones about a little girl from the west side of the tracks that decided to run for legislation. And hopefully I think I would be the first black woman elected to legislation in this district, which is history in the making. Y'all can clap for that. Okay.